So my name is Mike Kotkan. I'm a technology manager within Rohde Schwarz. So in my role, we try to understand the future. So understanding the new technologies coming up, what that means to our test and measurement portfolio, and obviously working together with customers and partners of ours to develop the new functions that we need. Well, I mean, we have been working on 6G for quite some while already. And I think we always identified in the early days that there are certain categories that people are working on in terms of research, primarily academic, then industry research, and even now it's going closer to some potential future products. In many areas, in the early days, were also higher frequency, very much focused on sub-terahertz frequency, D-band like, and we have a lot of demonstrations around that because products were developed. I think there's a certain tendency in the market to not be too sure how far this is going to be very big market share when it comes to 6G, because we have additional discussions on even lower frequencies down in the, people call it FR3 frequency space, around 10, 15 gigahertz, but even lower now. After the World Radio Conference last year, we know about interest between 7 and 8 gigahertz and 8.5 gigahertz as well. So I think it's not only the spectrum, higher spectrum discussion we are having, of course. All these low frequency will play an important role. Then we had other areas of interest that are around integrated sensing and communication. A new capability will build into the system, which is quite interesting, I believe. We certainly have the subject on machine learning and AI, which is very dominant and very broad, potentially influencing so many things in this new technology. How concrete is this going to be in future, I think, remains to be seen. But initial steps are taken, certainly already today, and it's a very dynamic environment. So we have been talking about the capability of sensing and communication, and put that together in one technology, one of the aims that we have in 6G. And obviously that would allow new use cases. There are so many that have been or are discussed at the moment, from environmental monitoring to e-health applications for heart monitoring to something to improve your data communication. But I think there's a certain primary use case, or also in GGP, people are discussing some form of object detection and tracking are the things that are of most interest also to be verified in the early days. So we have in our demonstration here today a testing method, because if you want to test sensing, you would need real object at the idle case. But how to do this with a car that is moving at high speed or even a drone? So you cannot do this in a physical environment. We have an instrument that is capable of emulating these objects, and you can set a number of objects. We use 8 in this case here, and you can set the distance and the speed of these objects in the radar cross section. So we have 2 at 40 meters distance and at plus and minus 20 meters per second. This object is going towards the device on the test, and the other is moving away from the device on the test. Okay. And the device on the test in our case is a research partner. It's a research institute. They are working on joint communication and sensing, thinking about different waveforms, what are the best ones to use in this application. They send out a signal. We are here at 28 gigahertz, so potentially interesting frequency band in this respect. We do the object emulation and we send it back to them. And obviously they have now to evaluate the reflected signal with all these objects in it. And you can see their result with our nice smiley here. And you remember the 2 targets with 40 meter distance, this is here, and the 2 different speeds, minus and plus 20 meter per second, which are the 2 eyes of the smiley, right? So you see it's just a result of what we said, and now we can be much more dynamic. We can modify speeds, distances, and so on. So you see that's one of these practical implementations for helping the research arena to develop the new algorithms, and future down the road, of course, also to help the developer of these future devices to ensure a certain minimum performance